Well, thank you very much. I'd like to thank Magali Laguerre-Wilkinson, Rabbi Joshua Platt, Dr. Eitan Wertheim, American Friends of the Rabin Medical Center Board of Directors and its president, Yaron Cohen, for this award and for the chance to show you this film and speak for a few minutes. To save a life is to save the world. Now, you probably know that the Nobel Prize in the 1960s was awarded to these fellows, Watson and Crick, for their discovery of the nature of DNA, the structure of DNA as a helix. But it is increasingly appreciated that the prize should have been also awarded to a woman, Rosalind Franklin, shown here, who published the paper at the same time as Watson and Crick, but she did not live long enough to defend her legacy. She died at the age of 37 of ovarian cancer, and you may not know that she was an Orthodox Jew. I have strong reason to believe she probably had the mutation that I discovered 40 years after she died. And had we known that, as you learned in the video, we could have prevented her death. When my team discovered this mutation in the 1996, it was evident that it carried a high risk for both breast and ovarian cancer in women and prostate cancer in men, and that mutations in these genes were 10 times more common in those of Eastern European or Ashkenazi ancestry. Now, there are other mutations as well that are common in other groups, such as those from Scandinavian countries, Iceland, for example, or French Canadians, or Polish non-Jewish individuals. But why is it that these groups, the Ashkenazis and others, have these mutations? Well, it's often because of odd historical circumstances. And in the case of the Ashkenazi Jews, as I mentioned in the video, at the beginning of the Christian era, there were 4.5 million who went north with the Germans. Ashkenazi just means German. They assimilated, or more commonly, were killed nearly to extinction. During the 2nd through 17th centuries in Europe, the population, as I mentioned, we reckon was as low as 10 to 30,000 Ashkenazi Jews in all of Europe. And then Catherine the Great came and spared the Jews in their pale of settlement in what is now Lithuania and Ukraine. They were allowed to flourish and reproduce, but only with themselves, with this isolated group, until the population reached 16.5 million before the Holocaust. Now, how did this dramatic set of numbers lead to a genetic result? Because centuries ago, a rare mutation arose randomly in a man or a woman and then became more common as the population decreased due to persecution. And by chance, this person with the rare mutation survived, and he or she carried this mutation, which became common as the population expanded. Today, 1 in 40 individuals carry the mutation I discovered, or 2 others that are slightly less common. So if we understand all of this special history, what can be done? We now know that the genetic testing that we offer saves lives through surgeries popularized by Dr. Angelina Jolie, shown at the top, and recently by the father of Beyonce, who you may know had a BRCA mutation and had surgery, but also by MRI screening of women and by PSA, very important screening of men for prostate cancer. But interestingly, insurance does not cover genetic testing of all Ashkenazi Jews in the United States, nor does the basket of coverage in Israel cover testing for all Ashkenazi Jews in Israel. Many are afraid of commercial testing in this country because of confidentiality reasons, and many want expert medical advice. So how do we get this done? For this reason, we have a study that you've heard of called Before. I encourage any of you in this room tonight with one grandparent of Eastern European Ashkenazi ancestry to go to this website and be tested at no cost. We've tested 4,000 individuals so far. Our funding will run out shortly at year end. I encourage you to do this rapidly. I'm reaching out to find those who may support our continuing this effort and expanding this effort to include over 5 million Ashkenazi ancestry in the United States and Israel and around the world. Finally, I would say tonight it's about Israel. Your support of the Rabin Center helps researchers. I'm showing here Dr. Rinat Yerushalayim and Yael Goldberg. I spoke to both of them last week, and they both care for patients with gene mutations. Dr. Yerushalayim takes care of patients, Dr. Goldberg provides their testing. I'm going to mention in closing a study led by the Rabin team. You can read the title at the bottom. It's a study not of Jews, but of Arabs in Israel, conducted at the Rabin Center, showing that the rate of hereditary ovarian cancer among the Arabs of Israel, and we think the indigenous Arab population, is much higher than expected, an interesting topic and one of which we are only beginning to explore. So research support of Rabin tonight helps Israel, and helping Israeli science also helps the region, and helping the region helps the world, because what we learn from one experience helps all others. Thank you so much for your support of this work. I'm very honored to receive this award tonight.
And joining me now on stage to present the Yitzhak Rabin Cancer Care and Research Award to Dr. Offit are Dr. Joshua Plaut, who's the head of the American Friends of Rabin Medical Center here in New York, and Dr. Eitan Wertheim, CEO of Rabin Medical Center. You can smile. This is good stuff. Yeah. It's research. It's saving lives. Thank you, Dr. Offit. Thanks for all you do. And the award says, the Yitzhak Rabin Cancer Care and Research Award for BRCA Genetics to Dr. Kenneth Offit. In deep gratitude, Yaron Cohen President, Stephen Siegel, Joshua Plaut, and Dr. Eitan Wertheim. November 11th, 2019, New York City.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.